Hi, welcome. Now I want to show you how you can be able to do a live streaming in OBS. This is specifically tailored towards a church service. Now the first thing that we want to do here is create a scene. Now forget about the first scene which I've created here. It's the one which I just get to use most of the times. So what I want to do is to be able to create a new scene. So I can, in this case, I'll give it MTC. That will be the new scene. Now you will see that it is blank. Okay, it is blank. Now I want to be able to connect my camera to my OBS. Now the camera which I'm going to use my camera phone. Okay, I'm using my camera phone. So I'm using my camera phone to connect. Now to do this, you will need some few applications. One, it's a plugin that you need to add on to your OBS. I've put here in the description, in this attachment, there is a link to the file that you need to download. So you copy this. It's on GitHub. Copy it. When you copy it, take it to your browser, paste it in your browser, then it will lead you to the site where you need to download. Now here, when you come here, you can scroll to the bottom and you come and download the OBS NDI 4.9 as of today, which is the Windows version if you're using Windows, but I'll definitely recommend that you use Windows. Then you can be able to install this file. Okay, so you just click on the file. When you click on the file, it will start the download process. So just save it, download the file. After you've downloaded the file, install the file just as you would install any other application. Just press continue or next, and you'll be able to install the file. After you have installed the file, start your OBS. When you start your OBS, when you come here where it says source, when you want to add another source, click on the source. You have an option here for NDI source. So if you click on that, it will open up. Then you say okay, create a new NDI source, and below here you will have where it says source name. When you come below and click, you might not find anything here because your phone may not be connected yet. But when you click here, you'll find there's no file is being picked. Okay, so that, don't worry about that. So let me show you how you can be able now to connect to your phone. Now for you to be able to connect to your phone, you have to go to the following site. Now the site you're going to is below here. Just copy this link, copy that link, then let's go to the browser, paste this in your browser. You're going to download an APK file. Now the reason why you're downloading this APK file is because you won't find it on a Play Store. Okay, so you download this APK file. You might have to download it on your PC. When you download this APK file, how to download it, let me show you. You go below here, then you click on the download. If you're in a rush, you might find that the seconds are still counting, so you may not be able to download it just right away. So you click on the download, then this will pop up. Wait for this countdown to finish in order for your download to start. So when you copy this, when you download this to your PC, transfer this now to your phone. Okay, when you download this, for instance, I've downloaded it. Okay, so I just save it and it will be downloaded. When you've done that, copy this file to your phone. Then when it gets to your phone, just activate it. And when you install it, that's the activation I'm talking about. When you install it, then you can be able to begin. you can open it up. When you open it up, you will have a blank screen. Okay, so what you have is a blank screen. Let me see, let me activate mine on the phone so that I can be able to pick it up. Okay, let's go. Where are you? There we go. So now I'm activating mine on the phone. Now when you open up the one on your phone, you'll see that you just have a giant camera which is filling up your screen. In the middle there is a white button. If that button is not clicked, which means you're not broadcasting. Okay, but make sure in all this, make sure that you are connected to the same Wi-Fi. Okay, you should be on the same network. The phone and the PC must be on the same network. So when you activate it, you click on it, it has started, the button has turned red. So if I go back to my NDI source, I go to properties, here under source, I can come and pick on my phone. When now I pick on my phone, the image, it will pick up the image. There we go. So now we are live. Okay, so now we have picked it up. So the next thing that we want to do is you can stretch this image, there's no problem. So the next thing that you would have to do now is to go to your NDI source, make some few settings. So what you'd want is on the bandwidth, select lowest. This will make it easier to avoid the buffer, the hinging, rather the hinging, whereby there's a breaking in the image. Okay, reduce the bandwidth. And the latency mode, this one depends on your phone. If you've got a powerful phone, when it comes to your camera, if I'm dragging this across, you'll see that there is that brightness which comes in with the moving of the phone. But at least my phone is a little bit okay on the camera. But if you've got a bad camera, you'll see that there's a serious drag on your images. Alright, so when you've done this, when you've reduced that, you can also go ahead and if you want to cover this whole space, you can drag it across. But if you go back to your phone, and this I will not advise, but if you go back to your phone, on your screen there is the settings button. It's like a gear. Here you have got many choices that you can do. You can be able to increase the brightness, where you've got -2 to +2. Going to +2, you're increasing the brightness. I'm increasing the brightness, and now I'm reducing the brightness. Okay, so you can see this happening on your PC, that the brightness is being reduced and it's being increased. That's one thing. You can also zoom in. You can zoom in. It is quite a good zoom in. So you can zoom in and you can zoom out. You can cut. You can use a flashlight. That is the bulb. That's a flashlight. It's on right now. Okay. Then you can cancel that. There is a grid that you can use just to help you balance your image. Then you can also use the microphone. You can cancel that you don't want the microphone to be used, or you can say, okay, let me use my microphone. Now this is on your phone. This is on your phone. It's a pity that I can't be able to show it on my phone right now. Then you can switch between cameras. You can switch between cameras, and here where you're seeing the bars, this is where you can be able to transmit at the highest resolution from your phone. So if I drag this, it's going to fit perfectly to my screen. Okay, so this is at the highest resolution, but I wouldn't advise this because of there is a bit of reluctance, that some delay which comes with it. Okay, so you might have to try to avoid that, but try this out depending on your network, how strong your network is. Alright, okay, now that we have done this, the next thing that we want to do is let's go to our what's next. Okay, so we are now able to pick up the image. So the next thing that we want to do is to be able to create the some of the outputs. So what I would advise is that the first thing that you do is just going to put this a little bit upside down. So the first thing that I want you to do is now to start creating different scenes. So the first one is that duplicate the scene that we have just made. So we're going to duplicate this scene, duplicate, let's give it 2. So you said these scenes are just the same, you don't even see a difference when you move between them. Okay, now the next thing that you want is that you might want to bring up the live, or you want to bring up probably a logo, whichever it is. For a logo, you go just to the image, pick an image. In this case, I browse to my folders where there is an image. I want to put the live stream image. That's the one there. I say okay. Then I can resize it just by dragging it by the side. I can pick up the live stream button, put it up there. Okay, then the next thing that I would want is probably to add a scripture down here. Probably there is a scripture or any notes, whatever it might be. I can come and add a text or something. So I'll come and say let's add a text. So on this text, I want to put up a scripture. So what I'll do is that I'll say okay. Then here in my text, I'll pick up a scripture. Let's say this is the scripture. Copy that scripture, come down, paste it here. Alright, now you see that if you don't see the scripture here, it's because the size is a little bit too big. So let's line it up. So we'll go on the font, select font, let's reduce it. Let's just pick something like 26. Let's say okay. Alright, now you can be able to see that it is now appearing there. Okay, so if I say okay, you can select even the font here. You can select whatever font that you are interested in. Okay, you can search for a font which is better representing your brand. Then you can say okay, then accept it. Now you see that the scripture is above here, so it might look as if it is too wide. Let's just increase the font a bit more. Let's come to our text. Let's increase the font a little bit more so that you can easily see it. We're 26. Let's go to 36. Okay, I think 36 is better off. Okay, alright, I don't advise increasing it from inside here. If you increase it from inside here, it distorts the quality of the text. But I've done that just for this purpose of an example, instead of me going back and forth. Alright, now we want on our background to be a color or something so that we can easily read the text. I can choose color and say okay. Then on my background, I want to have a black background. Let's see, I love to take a bluish background which is dark. There we go. I think that one comes out brighter for me. All right, there we go. Then the next thing that we'll do is we would want to have it probably on the width, would want it to be on at 1100. Let's say 1100. Okay, 1100. Is it enough? No, let's put it at 1200. Still not enough. I want it to cover the entire 1000. Okay, I'll put it at 1400. All right, that's fine. Then on the height, I'll put it at 200. Okay. All right. Okay, which means you can even use 100, half of that. We would want half of that, or we can put it at 80. There we go. Then say okay. So we'll drag this to the bottom to become the background. Then on the layer part, let's bring it beneath the text. So we'll have the text up above. Then on the text, we would want it probably the text to scroll down. You can choose. You can have it to scroll down, or you can create a big background here. You can bring an image as a background, then put the text in front. Okay, so in this case, we're going to go to our filters on the text, and on our filters, what we want to do is to be able to add a filter which is scroll. I want the text to be scrolling. Okay, then we can increase just the speed of the scrolling. Just increase it just a bit. Don't make it too fast. It can be of disturbance. Let's see. All right, I think that scrolling is okay. Then we can close. So our text is now scrolling below here. Then we've created this scene, so we can have someone preaching. As somebody is preaching, you're capturing this, and the text is scrolling down here, and you can change between scenes when you don't want the text and you want a text. So this changing between scenes is what we are going to utilize, because we are going to create a way in which we can be able to change between scenes without interfering so much with the audience. Okay, so now what we want to do is to come and add another scene, but what we're going to do is that we're not just going to add it like that. We'll duplicate the previous scene. So to duplicate the previous scene, we can come pick that one, duplicate, then say okay. Then the next thing that we want to do is add. We want to be able to add not the scene, rather I want to be able to add an image. I want to pick up an image, so probably I want a title. So I'll go and pick up my image, go and browse for it. So I go and browse for my image. Okay, so I go pick up my image. Which one do I want? Okay, so let me just pick up that one, bring it. So now I'm going to let me say okay. Then what I want to do is that I'll press Alt and then drag this just to crop my image. I want just this part of my image. Alright, so crop my image. There we go. Then we can bring it below here. So what we have now is these are different scenes, whereby when we want to shift between scenes, we have got this scene where we've got the scripture is rolling, and we've got this scene whereby the name of the prophet comes up about. But you can do a lot more with this. Okay, so we have created this scene. We are connected to the mic, to the phone image. And now the other thing that I would want to show you is in a situation whereby you want to do a countdown. Okay, so if you want to do a countdown, what you can do is that you can create a different scene before you start your live sessions. You can be able to, before I go to the okay, yeah, let's do the countdown. Let's deal with the countdown. So in the countdown, we're going to create a new scene. We'll duplicate, or not rather duplicate, we'll create a new scene altogether. New scene for the countdown. Let's call it countdown. Okay. So in this countdown, what I want is to I'll add the picture. Let's go and pick up a picture image. Okay, then we want this image here, that image, pick up that image. Okay, so this image is just a bit of Photoshop here and there. Okay, so you can drag this just to fit the screen. So this is just amateur's work. You can make a better design on the background image. It can even be a video. It can be a video, but it shouldn't be too fast. It's in slower motion. So when you do that, the next thing that you have to do is to come up with here you have to have a countdown clock. Now for this to work, you would need to go and pick up, there is a software for countdown that you can be able to use, which works well with OBS. There are other sites that you can go to, like online, to just to pick the countdown. You can be able to put up the settings and you can pick from the browser. But the danger with that is that when you're doing a live stream and you're making OBS to go and pick from the browser, it increases the amount of pressure on the network. So if your network is not strong, you will have a lot of buffering in your live streaming. So to avoid all that, you install a software that can sit on your machine, then you can pick from your machine, which means you're not using internet to do that. So the next thing that we're going to do here is to go to a software called SNAS. I can press that, then look for SNAS. Okay, I've installed this software on my PC. Let's pick up. Okay, there we go. So now when you open up your software, this is how it will look. Just above here, this is your output format. This is the output of your time. Then here is the current PC time. Then the live output. Just below here, these are the type of date formats that you have. Then let's see, where do we go? Well, now here on count 2, you can quickly pick our current time. Then you can come and select, probably you want to start 1 hour from now. You can just come and click on the excuse me, click on the hour, then increase it by an hour. Then you can say start, so which means it's showing you right now that you're remaining with 59 minutes and some few seconds. Okay, so what you do when you've done this, you come and copy the path to the clipboard, copy that, by coming here, copy it. This is where the countdown is, so you just copy that. So that you go to your OBS, then you add text to it. Under text you can say okay, then you're going to say read from file, pick that, then here where it says text file, you can come under browse, then paste the link, then open it. So when you open it, you'll find that it has come to your it is now appearing. This is the countdown which is happening right now. Then you can change the color. You can come here to select a color for it. You can probably select a red or something. Okay, so you can probably select red or something, whichever color that you might prefer. Okay, so when you have done that, you can come and say okay. So now here you have got your countdown time. You can drag it, bring it into your the box that you've created there, so for your countdown. So we'll be live in 58 minutes, this, just like that. Okay, so this is a scene that you've created. Okay, so now the next thing that you want to do is now how to work in OBS Studio. Now for you to work in OBS Studio, the next thing that you will go to is let's go to the studio mode. Now in studio mode, you have got the program that is happening right now, and you have got the preview. Now if I'm changing between scenes, if I go to this scene, you see that this scene is not appearing this side. For it to happen, I have to click on transition, which means it will move from this scene to that scene here. So this is what is live. Okay, so if I'm picking a different scene, like for instance I'm beginning my I want to start, so I'll first start with a countdown, transition it this side. This is my countdown which is happening. Now here I can come to my different scenes, make different changes. I can come here, come to this, make a change or whatever I want to do, make all those changes. Then when I'm done making the changes, I've done everything, my countdown is done. How's my phone? Okay, there we go. So right now I'm picking it live. Let's see, I'm on this scene. I can come here and transition to this. Now this is what is showing live right now. I can come here and pick a different scene, then transition it to this session. Now all these changes are happening. Then you can pick all sorts of different scenes if you've created all different kind of scenes. Then you can create, for instance, probably it's time for offering. You can create a diagram for it, a scene for it, whereby you can now be able to push it through. So this is going to help you a lot. So whenever you are doing this, you can start your live streaming. You can start your live streaming. I believe I take it that you know already how to do the live streaming. But at this point, this is what you really much needed to be able to do the live streaming. Okay, so make sure that if the audio for the phone is not that good, you can mute you can come here. Let's see. Oh, there's something that you need to be aware of. When you come to the NDI scenes, when you come to the settings, then properties, you have to make sure that here it does not change. The latency must be low, and the bandwidth must be low. Okay, lowest. Then you check all of them, make sure that they are on low, because you might experience some challenges. Okay, which one are we looking at? So here on the mic, you can select, for instance, me, I usually use my external mic, which is this one. So you can select your mic there that you want to use. Okay, there we go. check all of them. So this is the mic that I'm using it from OBS. I have muted my own mic from the phone there. Then I can come here, check the properties. Okay, which one am I using? Not I want to speak. Okay, the same one which I usually use. Correct. Alright, so when you've done that, you are good to go. You're good to go. Alright.